I am Edmundo Esparza, and I am a Mexican Colombian fourth year medical student from the Texas Christian University. This is my elevated story. Yeah, so originally I remember thinking at a very young age, I really want to be an astronaut. That came from just like watching a bunch of different movies. As I grew up, kind of the realization of being from a low SES family and not really understanding the higher education process started kind of setting in. I actually started becoming interested in medicine in high school when I learned about programs that would help give you licenses or certificates so you can start working in a healthcare related field as soon as you graduate high school. That's when I was first exposed to emergency medicine and through an EMT program that I finished during high school. Uh, I'm so grateful that I did it and grateful that I got exposed to it because I realized one thing was that I wanted and needed more. So around that time in high school was when I was really thinking, I want to get higher education than just this certificate. I want to see what's next. I want to see what college is going to be like. And after that, I want to be a doctor. I think I want to go all the way there to that point. One of the biggest important journeys of my life was kind of seeing and going through what my dad went through. So he did eventually end up passing about 4 to 5 years ago. And having gone through that and understanding not only or wanting to understand the biomedical aspects of it, but also the social aspects of it and why he didn't have the access to healthcare that he deserved and others deserve, and why his condition could have been managed at a much earlier spot in the entire process. And so going through that made me very passionate about trying to find these individuals that are at the same risk and helping them and making sure that they don't get to that disease process that's going to eventually end their life when they can live long, happy lives. I think that's huge. So having a representation of individuals that are like you, so Hispanic male, Hispanic female doctors, that is huge. I think to this day, I constantly try to find Hispanic mentors that are at this level. And luckily at our school, we have a couple that have been great. But growing up in El Paso, I was fortunate because it is 80% Hispanic. There were some Hispanic doctors, and my pediatrician comes to mind. His name is Dr. Canales. Uh, he was probably the biggest role model for me growing up, and being in that culture, I didn't realize how well I had it because I did have access to him and because he was my mentor. Kind of leaving the El Paso area, I can see the doctors are not necessarily Hispanic or of any other type of minority, and so it's very different. So it is challenging when you don't have those type of individuals that resemble you. Yes, I mean, definitely continues to have a huge effect on me. Knowing that medicine is one of the most expensive careers to invest in so that you can eventually be a doctor. A lot of people kind of dismiss that and say, oh, well, you'll be making a lot of money as a doctor, so it'll be fine. But I think the problem is as we go through college and we start applying for medical school, it becomes very limited when you don't have the funds to apply to a lot of medical schools, when you don't have the funds to get all those top resources to help you get a higher MCAT score. So it's definitely been tough, and it's been a couple of times in my journey where I've been like, I can't do this anymore. I mean, I just don't have the resources to do it. Luckily, I've always had amazing mentors and supporters that have always just picked me up and helped me along the way. But even to this day, I mean, the other day I was just thinking, how does one afford moving to residency, paying for 2 months of rent while you start getting paid, when you don't have the economic funds to do so? So yeah, it's definitely been difficult, but that's something that makes me really happy about ElevateMeD. Hopefully in the future, I find those people that are in my shoes as well, and I can help them through these same issues. I would say be rewarding, just because I'm thinking of rewards as something that come after a very difficult time. And there's a lot of very difficult times in medical school. So rewarding in the sense of getting to know patients and having them and bonding with them, since we do have different curriculum where we actually spend about 40 weeks in the same clinic. It's very, very longitudinal. So rewarding in that sense, rewarding in the sense that I've been progressing and achieving my goals and been passing tests, for example. A huge thing that I had starting off was imposter syndrome. So just getting through that and being rewarded along the way, I think that's how I would describe it. To the donors making this ElevateMeD journey possible, I wanted to say thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for allowing me to continue to be successful on this journey. I hope to meet you one day, and I hope to pay this forward as well in the future.